Sam.
What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and we're back with the weekly Xboxbeastfire podcast. Got a special guest today. Y'all know I'm my man Bam. Heavy in the Xbox community. There's a few things that we want to talk and tackle today. I got a list of things we need to go over. DC's hopping out and hopping back in. I don't know what the fuck is going on with any of the goat here in his throat. I don't know what the fuck going on with D. He's he just hit me, said give him 5 minutes. He had an important phone call. So he's gonna be in here in a minute. But we can start off light before we get into the big topics as the room is filling up as we speak. Cool. So like I said, last Thursday or last Wednesday or whatever the case may be, I got my hands on the official NPD numbers. Since like I said, since I've been doing YouTube, I've met some people that know some people that know some people, and they told me not to say anything. You know what I mean? But they had the because Microsoft or whatever the case stopped releasing numbers about 2 years ago, whatever the case may be. But I saw the numbers last week, the exact numbers, and they won by a little. What's about I think it was about 96,000. Rounded off about 100,000 units.
That's the November numbers.
That was for October, you know what I mean? And like, what do you guys thoughts of that? Do you not what you think, but like I said, you new here, Bam. Like, what do you think about that? Do you think that Microsoft can keep up the momentum with the Pro that's released this month? Because the Xbox One S or whatever the case may be, will be going against the PS4 Slim, the PS4 Fat, and the PS4 Pro. Do you think that? And because, like I said, both Microsoft and Sony are doing deals this Black Friday. What do you think that Microsoft can keep up the momentum?
Yeah, I absolutely think they could, because I notice pretty much every Black Friday or so, Microsoft usually are always on their A game anyway when it comes to Black Friday. But also being that the Sony got that Pro out, there's been a lot of bad, negative reports going out about it. So I don't know if that's going to work in their favor. But I think if Microsoft keep doing what they're doing, and everybody's loving that console. I mean, it's nice, small, sleek, beautiful. You look at that Pro, I mean, that shit look like a triple-decker cake or something. I don't know why they came out, made it look like that. They should have just stayed with the nice little design that they have the PlayStation Pro. I mean,
that should look like a back of an AC unit.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Microsoft just keep up with the momentum. They doing good. They should win November. I think it's going to be close, though. It's definitely going to be close. Because
Sony has they dropped the PS4 stuff. Well, they're going to drop it, the Slim or whatever the case. The standard is already 250, if I'm not mistaken. But the Slim is going down to 250 with Uncharted 4. Microsoft is doing Battlefield. Bang, bang. Microsoft is doing Battlefield bundle 250, and I think another game or an extra controller. So like I said, it's gonna be interesting. What do you think about that, Dylan? The 100,000, can Microsoft?
I mean, I'm not surprised the console's done well initially. You're right, though. The Pro is coming, and it is new hardware. Whether or not we like it or if it's lighting people on fire. Yeah, whether or not all that's true. It's still new hardware, so it's got its work cut out for it. But on the other hand, it's the cheapest 4K Blu-ray player on the market with the X1S, pretty much. So it's gonna be a battle, man. It is. It'll be interesting. I think Sony will take it, but only because of their 1800p machine. That's about it.
And I still think they should have put that Blu-ray player in that Pro, though. But hey, that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but like I said, they're playing the price game. They know they're going to get outperformed next year, and they know the price can be their only possible advantage this time around. So they did what was smartest for them, and we'll see if it works.
Greatness awaits.
I actually saw that commercial on CW. It says greatness awaits, but it shows everything's still waiting to come out.
Yeah, we're still waiting for it, man. Hopefully it'll come out sometime soon. Hopefully.
You're talking about the game. Well, when they are, coming, I don't think, they're going to pull the Last Guardian on us and wait 2 years,
Yeah,
that's right. It's terrible.
Now. I like it in the commercial. It shows the games and then it says on God of War in development for PlayStation systems. So it's in development. Not out yet. Not out yet. So they're showing it on a commercial, but it's still in development. It says it.
You're talking about that King's trailer?
With the one with the Spider-Man, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh man, that was a nice trailer. It looked nice. Wish them games was coming out anytime soon, though.
But so here's the thing: what you guys are not taking into consideration is that we're the the hardcore. We got our finger on the pulse. We know they're not coming up, but the casual Mike and casual Bob, they see God of War, Spider-Man, they see that shit on it. They think it may be coming out 2-3 months around Christmas time. And it's not a big deal to them. You know what I mean? And again, long as they have the multi-plats to fall back on, which I know it's the hardcore that we go here and we go back and forth about the exclusives, and it is what it is. But just to be honest, exclusives don't hold the punch that they used to. They're not the Marios or the Sonics are like they used to be, or even the Halos. Even anything Gears or Uncharted, they don't hold the punch that they once did. I mean, multi-plats through. You'd be lucky if a game of a big exclusive chart for 2 months. You know what I mean? But you see the same I say it again, the same 10 multi-plats in the top 10 at MPD month after month after month. You know what I mean? So
that last raccoon, was that in the that was in that trailer, was it?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it was in there. I
saw Sony that just shows that they don't expect that to sell.
I saw Spider-Man. I saw the God of War. I saw the Infinity Warfare COD. I saw Uncharted because it was showing the Uncharted 4 box on it.
Yeah, that was a nice illusion.
But it still said greatness awaits at the end.
Yep. Still waiting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is, man. But like I said today, I will give Sony credit. It was a top-notch
trailer, yeah.
But I was like I said, we talked about this on BGST, and I was like, shit, there's no secret. Some of Microsoft newer IPs, whether it's been Quantum Break or Recore, haven't done well on even Sunset Overdrive, haven't done well on the charts. And I was
over
saying,
$1 million with Sunset Overdrive now. Come on. And that was at the time with like
but maybe when it went down to $10, but it didn't sell.
Nah, that was in the first. I don't know how many months.
I don't know.
13 million install base, over $1 million sold.
But I'm saying they wasn't too impressed with. I don't know what. Maybe that million, whatever. Maybe they haven't got back what they spent. You know what I mean? It is a business at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But
and I think they knew that was going to happen. They just was trying to get you some games.
But I say that to say this, maybe Microsoft, not maybe, I think, it will be better if they were to advertise these newer franchises. Like with Sony, because remember when the Xbox One launched in November, we got that robot big commercial. You had the Titan walking in on the street and busting to the office. You had the forces whipping around. You had the Titan, the rise of the, what's that shit? Rise to the world. Yeah, they was at the beat in their chest, you know what I mean? With that over-the-top commercial. Maybe Microsoft needs they really need to start doing that again. Regardless if the game comes out next year, you know what I mean? Because again, the hardcore us here, we're gonna buy it. But if we don't bring any money, we are very, very small. It's the casuals, you know what I mean? They have to start advertising these games to the casuals. How many casuals know what the fuck Sunset Overdrive is? Or even Quantum Break is, you know what I mean? No, shit.
How many casuals actually know what the cloud is?
Or whatever.
Yeah, not a lot. Not a lot.
Track down. So that in itself, is the issue. Everybody knows about Gears. Everybody more or less knows about Halo, or maybe Forza. But those smaller, franchises, and they need to start. Like I said, do a collage. Like a little indie sizzle trail or something, and put it on play it on TV. You know what I mean, do something. At the end of the day, like I don't know.
And also the digital sales, they don't keep an account of those, right?
Nah, they don't. They don't.
You would think now that it's 2016, everybody pretty much, let's say 80%, 70% is going digital. So not a lot of people is going out and buying physical copy. So I think that digital would probably hold more water if that was included in the sales as well.
Dude, but it wasn't even 5 or 6 months ago that I was pretty much totally physical, and now I've got one physical game, and everything is digital. So that is true. And people say Gears only sold 600K, and it's like,
but that was just for that first weekend. For Friday,
and that was just physical only. And then you look at a game like Halo 5 that was 1.8 million physical, and it sold 5 million combined. You're looking at 2 to 1 nearly, and that's about the ratio you'll get for Gears of War. I got my Gears digital. I know that.
I got my Gears digital because I got the Slim with it, so it gave me the digital.
And more people are going to do that with the crossplay.
Yeah, I've pretty much been digital with all my games, except for when the first Xbox came out. I got about 7 games physical, but now I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm going digital. Why? What's the point? But I think if they would have counted those sales, I think the sales would have been a lot higher than what they are now.
Easily double, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
On what game are you talking about?
Oh, well, any of the games like Gears, Forza, any of the games that came out now. Everybody has pretty much moved to digital now. So those sales don't get accounted for. Only the physical. I think it would have seemed like more sales if the digital was included in the physical sales.
I do think that people are more digital on Xbox than they are on PlayStation, though, because those dudes,
absolutely,
they buy a lot of trade back in towards a new game, and they don't get no new games.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got to trade our old shit in.
Not everybody wants to give Sony again their credit card information.
Right.
Oh yeah, don't even want to do that. That's crazy.
But again, I don't. Like I said, I don't. None of the well, I don't know about Nintendo. We don't report their digital sales. I once heard something about taxes or in different countries, and whether that's the reason why they don't report it. I don't know how true it is. They need to ask a question, but they don't report their digital sales, or or whatever the case may be. Whatever.
So out of all the games that came out right now, let's say Forza, Gears, how much y'all think it sold? If you had to pick a number.
Oh, out of what game?
Gears or Forza?
To combine, or Gears of War 4? What Gears are you?
Yeah, separate. Yeah, separate.
How many copies do I think Gears? So I think Gears is probably about close to 2 million.
Okay.
1.8, 1.7 or something.
I would say, easily. I don't know one person that bought it physically. Not one person.
Pretty much. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think those games are pretty much in the 2 mil mark.
You said if you're on digital, you're one lazy fat ass bitch.
It'll be a good question to how many Gears of War 4 consoles were sold.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, well, so also, like I said, a copy of Gears came with that. So if that 600,000 was that just the week? Because it was out. Remember, it came out Friday. If you pre-ordered it,
Yeah, I got the early edition. Yeah, so $100 edition.
Whatever the case may be. So, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, one thing I said, it'll come out from another. Maybe the coalition with Black Tusk Studios. Maybe they may leak it and put a tweet on NeoGAF or something. But Microsoft really doesn't really talk about their numbers too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they need to. They didn't even brag on Halo 5's 5 million sold.
Pretty much.
Well, actually, it wasn't an article, so technically they did brag about it.
Well, they didn't come out and say, "Hey, we blew you away with 5 million sold of this." Like they could have, they could have done it bigger and better.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it was Frank O'Connor, just one guy from 343, Rogue in it, So
yeah, that was on NeoGAF. Because someone said Gears, Halo 5 flopped or something. Something
typical idiot that don't know nothing, just talking.
Yeah, digital is the way to go now.
Digital. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, as you were just saying, I got a slew of shit here we can talk about today, man. I got a bunch of topics.
Yeah, but just for him saying, we're lazy. Nah, I think that's being clean, bro. You have a bunch of games stacked
that's
up
just
like
about
an order.
Bitch.
Pretty much.
I like being digital and physical because I don't like to rely all on digital. Because if something happens to my tag, then all my digital content goes out the window.
What happened if you stop flashing, motherfuckers? You ain't gonna worry about getting the
T Reaper's only one of them playing butt naked with a trench coat.
Yeah. With the shirt and shit off, man.
With a candle on the side. Oh man.
Something. What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen to your tag, T Reaper?
I don't know. He deal with it.
I know. I might forget it one day. And I don't know.
If you forget it, you deserve to lose every game you ever bought.
That's why I have two tags. That's why I have 2 tags though. So I have a backup plan. So if one gets hacked, or one gets banned, I have another one.
Team Reaper, don't worry. You ain't on Sony. You ain't got to worry about your stuff getting hacked. You'll be all right.
Yeah, Microsoft is pretty good with that stuff there, though. You know what I mean?
Pretty much, yeah. They don't play around with that.
Getting this stuff back you.
But I like the digital access better than I like physical because I'm too lazy to basically put in the disc, and you can only have one disc in at a time. If it's all digital, then you can press everything
Man, your physical copy just a startup for digital anyway. I mean,
the physical copy does
maybe
install
for
faster
those
though. So if it's on a
that
disc, it
decide
does install faster if it's by physical disc.
Same as
you're
your
not
hard drive.
downloading everything. You're installing data from
Your
the
hard
disk
drive
too.
boots faster too.
Yeah, because either way, you still got to install the game anyway, so you might as well just go digital and buy it off the store.
You come home with the game in hand, you still got to wait X amount of minutes before you get to play, so you might as well buy digital, you know what I mean?
Especially if you went to like an overnight release or some shit, so you put that shit in like
for a while.
Yeah, you might as well just go to sleep, put that shit in there.
The longest I had to wait for something to install was the Infinity.
You was married already, right? Right.
God 4 Infinity Warfare, those two games, it took about 45 minutes to install both those games, and it was about 130 or 160 gigs.
Lightning speed internet, goddamn.
Yeah, so it's like I believe it has to do with the disc and it has to do with your speed. So if you have good speed and the disc, it'll go by faster.
Well,
like Battlefield 1 only took 20 minutes to install. Like everything else took 20 minutes.
They install the data on your disc, and then what they do?
Damn, what you got that flash speed?
Right.
I got 150/30.
Shit, excuse me.
Hey, Deadpool
got that flash point speed.
Deadpool said, "Damn, inside our hardcore Xbox players move to PS4." Hype beast. That's hype beast, bro.
Yeah. Only thing with that, they said you just once you get the digital, you can't trade it in. But I think I did see a survey maybe about a couple months ago. I got in an email. I think Microsoft was asking questions like if you were able to trade in like your digital copies or whatever, if you can get like I think it was 6% or 10% back, would you be willing to do that?
Damn, that ain't shit.
Well, I know on PC, like if you have Steam, you can actually gift your game to somebody. So like if they allow that on Xbox, that'd be a way where I could say, "Yo, next gen, send me that game. I'm gonna give you this game," and you could swap like that. I hope that's something that they look at in the future. Well, they could do it because it's just another form of DRM because it's digitally attached to your account anyways. Yeah, that's it.
Very much.
License. That's all.
Yeah.
That would be
that would be nice.
To trade your games. That would be. I guess that would be a feather in the hat for Microsoft. They weren't to like allow that. Let people trade their games digitally on on Xbox Live or whatever the case may be.
That's why I love Microsoft. All about options.
I guess if the more options, the better. But I guess moving this conversation right along, article came out starting in December next month that you would be able to play selected Xbox One games on your Oculus Rift. What do you guys think about that? D, that's your field. You the tech guy. What do you think about that?
I saw it. It's basically I don't know. If you have like an Oculus and you don't have like a big TV, then maybe this would be benefit to you because you can make it like 70, 80 inches in front of your face, where it looks like you have a big screen or you're sitting in a movie theater. It is kind of cool like that, but it's okay. Like it's nothing to write home about because I've done this in the PSVR where you can make a big screen there. I've done this on my Gear VR, where I'm like watching movies and like playing games like in a big screen mode.
So you can only play them in cinema mode, basically.
Yeah. So like until you're playing your Xbox games like in actual VR, it's meh in my opinion. It's a nice treat for Oculus owners, that they can play their Xbox on there. But I don't think
money, they better.
Options are good, so that's great for the people that bought it. But I don't think it's going to be widely used. It's okay in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not going to be excited to come home and put that whatever Oculus Rift on my head and play that. Just give me games on control. I'm good with that.
Well, I'll say this. It does, like, if you said to like movie theater mode and like you're sitting like in a movie theater, it actually does feel like you're in a movie theater watching it. But then again, you're losing some clarity on it, right? It'd be a lot cleaner just playing it on your damn TV, So
yeah,
it's whatever,
I don't know. I mean, Dean, are you gonna get the Oculus or are you fine with your VR?
I'm gonna wait until like February, March when Microsoft releases those ones that are for Windows 10. I need to know the specs on it, but I like the fact that those VR headsets are incorporating the HoloLens space. So you it's like HoloLens as well, and it's VR as well. and I do like that. It's interesting, and the price point, I think they're starting at what, $299. That's pretty awesome. So I just need to know more on the specs, but I don't know. Oculus, I've tried it. It's not the most comfortable, especially in comparison to the PSVR, to be honest with you. And then compared to the HTC Vive, is the HTC Vive is a lot clearer, in my opinion, than the Oculus. You know, so I'm kind of off of the Oculus bus, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. What about you, Dylan? Are you interested in the Oculus?
I don't know. It depends. They are basically working on an Oculus 2.0 right now.
Yes.
So we're working on comfort and clarity, like Dean said. So we'll have to see. I mean, they've got the biggest budget of any of these companies when it comes to VR. So we'll see how they.
Oh, and speaking of, I forgot to say this. There was a gadget that came out that you can use on your HTC Vive that actually makes it wireless. So you don't need to hook up all those wires to your computer.
That's supposed to be in the next Oculus as well. So
yeah, and then if they incorporate that with the inside out tracking that Microsoft has on their VR headsets, you know, you got a win-win situation. That's the most thing that excites me most about the Microsoft one, is that inside out tracking. You don't need to set up nothing. It knows where you are in your space, just like HoloLens. It knows where you are, and I think that's awesome.
Well, I don't know. What about you, Loose Booty Reaper? Are you? Is it something that you're into? You can talk to your girlfriend Katana up close and personal, like, you know what I mean?
No, I'm not interested in that VR stuff.
Nah?
Yeah. Not until
Team Reaper said, "Fuck that." He wasn't no parts.
It takes my body and turns me into Tron, then maybe. But I see that in like 30 years, 30, 40.
Take your body and like some vagina.
Yeah. I guess. Well, let me ask you this: like, you know, VR. I mean, and again, some people love it. Some people were, Now the people that, here's the thing, what I've noticed, because I have yet to try it. My Best Buy doesn't have one, maybe because I go to the one in the fucking hood. But the people, like I said, some people, you know, praise it and say, it's nice, it's a great experience. But again, the people that bought it, they're no longer playing with it. You know what I mean? They're not. Is it something that you can sit down and really? Right now, the games are like an experience, I guess. You know. Like if it's something you can sit down and just game out balls to the wall on, you know what I mean? Is it like you picking up a controller and, you know, and play for a couple hours? Is VR there yet, or we have a ways to go? What do you think? You know what I mean?
I got a ways to go.
Like what I mean with the Kinect, you know, and this is me speaking an Xbox fanboy. Remember the Kinect came out, I had it. I was recording myself. I was dancing, popping and locking. You know, and again, I bought all the goddamn Kinect games, but by the time Just Dance 2 and Kinect Sports came out, I wasn't into that shit anymore. Do you think the VR, and this is period, but even with the PlayStation VR, do you think it's going to become Sony's Kinect? Is basically what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It may be a nice piece of tech. You know, you may be gun-ho about it. Oh, cool. But do you think people are going to really go out and really support the, you know, or even developers? Do you think it's going to become the next Kinect? Basically, what I'm saying, you know.
I don't think anybody's going to rush out and pay $500 for that. I mean, it could have some games later on, but as of next year, I don't think it's going to be any games that's going to be like, oh shit, I got to get that right now. Yeah, that's exactly how the VR going to be. Tiring.
No, it's crazy, man. A lot of people I follow on YouTube, and a lot of Let's Players. I don't even see them using VR as much as I thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Real quick, did you got the Star Wars Battlefront supposed to be on PSVR now? Did you try that?
Funny story. I'm actually going to order it later on tonight. I checked my inbox, and I guess for buying a PS4 Pro, they gave me a free $10. And right now on PSN, it's $10 for that game. So I'm going to cop that and try it.
Be sure and double check
look in your account. Yeah, it's there.
Oh wow!
What?
It's got to be on your PS Plus account. So if you have more than one account on your thing, it's got to be your PS Plus account.
What's up, man?
Oh, okay.
And then it's in there. There's $10. You got to use it before November 30th. And there's also a 10% discount coupon for one-time use.
So you'll let us know how that Star Wars Battlefront turns out.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know. But I gotta say, they are kind of trickling out the games, and I've been paying attention to the games that have been out, and like people are giving them fair reviews. They're not fanboying on the VR stuff, you know. Like if a game sucks, they say it just sucks, you know. And if a game's good, they're good. Like the Eagle Flight game, I'm hearing good things about the game. Those guys that play it, they said, "Holy shit!" Like,
well, how much are these games though?
They're like pretty cheap. They're like $49, $39.
Jesus, how many fucking goats you?
Well, that's Canadian. That's Canadian. So in the States, I think some of those games are like $29, $39.
Well, a lot for kind of an experience, you know.
Some of them are an experience. So like the Eagle Flight, it's an actual game. It has like multiplayer.
On a podcast.
You already get rid of your base PS4?
Yeah, my base PS4.
You can't tell us how PSVR Battlefront's going to be on the base PS4, huh?
No, I wouldn't be able to tell. But I can. But you know what? I would say it would be a little bit softer, not as crisp, and not have as good aliasing, and it's probably gonna have less graphic fidelity because with the PSVR, they're not stuck by this mandate of parity, so they just ramp up the games on that because what else would they have to compare it? There's only one PSVR, right? So.
Yeah. Oh, didn't 2K release a VR experience today?
Yes, they did. Where you can do like 3-point shoots, shots, and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that looked. I gotta agree. That looked pretty lame, and they're charging like $15. I'm like, oh my god, it should be free.
Donkey who wants to try.
Yeah, that's a little lame.
Wait, hold up. Wait. So I mean, 2K wants you to pay for if you already own 2K, they want you to pay for the VR experience?
Yeah, it's $15.
Oh hell!
Shit! They better go kick rocks on that one.
That's sorry. When I'm quoting prices, I'm quoting Canadian prices, so that might be $10 US.
Oh wow!
Even still.
More than $1.
I know it should be free. Like, well, you know what? When something new like this launches, you're gonna have a lot of people that try to capitalize, and they release a lot of fucking shovelware. This is like fucking shovelware garbage.
If it was $1, it'd be like
a phone. Yeah, $1.
I mean, I'll give them $10. I'll give them 10. 10 reasons on why I'm not giving them $10.
Oh, okay.
You're a nice brother. You're a nice brother, man.
Thank you, sir.
But I want to answer your question, Z. What you were saying, if you think VR is going to take off, I think right now, because of the price of VR, it's truly for like kind of like the hardcore guys that have the cash and they want to go out and just get it because they like to have this shit.
But don't you feel like this is going backwards, like playing a Wii game? You know what I mean?
I don't think VR is going to take over the gaming space. But I'm sorry, I think it adds to it. Like I do enjoy
you know what looked cool to me is when I first seen the tech demo of VR, like maybe a couple years ago, when they had those people trying it out, walking on that damn plank to get that cat. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you feel afraid of heights and shit. You know, trying to the simulation thing. I thought that was cool. But giving me a Michael J. Fox basketball game, I'm not with that, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of lame. But then there's stuff like VR Worlds. Now VR Worlds, it's not completely awesome, but they do have some awesome stuff to it, like the London Heist. Holy shit, man! That game, like when them bullets are coming at you, you really feel they're coming at you, and you're like you have full kind of movement. You can like lean over, look at the ledge. You can like duck, hide under the desk, and like
that is cool.
It's pretty dope. And like I said, once you have it set up properly, the responsiveness of the move sticks is actually pretty good. I'm actually surprised how good it is.
You ain't get that eye herpes yet? No.
But you know, like I said, I don't think you should be on VR for more than an hour and a half in one sitting. So I'm not gonna play VR for more than an hour. Cool. No, after that I'm out of it.
That's another good reason why I wouldn't want one, because I know for a fact I would play for more than that.
Oh my God, you get stuck in the Matrix, man.
Okay, well here's the thing. Like I said before, and this, in all fairness, the only way I see, and again, we are what you call the hardcore again, is for the casuals to adopt it. I'm sorry, and then a $500 price tag. I don't see it really, as of yet, cracking into the mainstream. Maybe it was $250, $300, and again, Sony still needs that compelling hardware and software. Like you can say what you want about the Kinect. A was $150. B, you had games like Kinect Sports, and you know what I mean. The mom and Sony doesn't have that. And I'm not saying the games may not be great. Batman.
They may
we experience and all that stuff, but still that crossover Beatles game, that new Kids on the Block, they're missing to me. That in my experience, in my opinion, that killer app. You understand what I'm saying?
They may have it next year with
and a flashlight attachment for your controller, bro.
They may have it next year with Resident Evil. From what I played of that kitchen demo was pretty dope, man. I VR and horror.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Even with a game like Resident Evil, and I'm not saying, and again, that's not going to be a great game, and not even that's going to be done well. But to me, that still screams to the hardcore. Mom and pops don't want to be fucking scared. Yeah. You know what I mean? They need that motherfucking VR Candy Crush type game. They need one of, you know what I mean? That crossover hit.
Yeah. You know what I like in VR, and they do it with the Playroom demo. They have like, you know, those little things that come out the controller. So they have like a platform type game within it. Now, platforming games in VR are really good. The 3D, the crispness, the presentation, and of course you're not getting any type of motion sickness because you're like the overlooker. So it just looks like really in-depth 3D. Like it's pretty sick. They need to concentrate on something like that, like some type of platformer that would help move it forward. But it's not going to go forward until the price drops.
Maybe like a Ratchet and Clank app, you know?
Yeah, but it's not going to go forward until it goes to like $300. I got to be honest on that. It's too expensive for the casual person to get it. And next year when these other headsets come out for like $299, it's going to force Oculus to lower their price. It's going to force Vive to lower their price, and of course the PlayStation VR. And I'm already hearing that the next Oculus and Vive, they're already much cheaper because it's cheaper for them to produce them, and of course the competition.
Okay, well here's and again, and I will say this, and I said it again, it'll be just not to be a broken record. I again, the only way I really see this the VR maybe taking off is maybe if the indie developers can get in there, you know, and I don't know if it maybe it's best for them to make and start making these quirky games for it, like, you know, or something. Instead of, you know, maybe these $20 titles, because if they're gonna really charge $60 for a game, and like I don't think, and I could be wrong with this, I really don't think people want to sit down for hours with something on their face. You know what I mean? Like a prime example, I was a big fan of 3D movies and stuff. You know what I mean? I watch. I'm not gonna watch 3 movies back to back with 3D glasses on. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? And again, we're still talking about, so like I said, $500. You know, I'm a man of very little means, but anyway, like I said, I maybe I'm gonna get a VR. Maybe I'm lucky to get one for Christmas. You know what I mean? But that is asking motherfucker for a lot of bread. If Sony was smart, you know what Sony should have did? Sony should have released the PS4 Pro this holiday season, right? And you know, did what they did, and then maybe next year around the time when the NX came, not the NX, the Switch, or a little after that, then release the VR. You know what I mean? Because they're releasing the Pro right along with the VR, that's $1,000 You know what I'm saying? And we all know that, and you can contest, speak for this, that you have a PS4 Pro. The VR is, you know, this reason why they really doubled down on the PS4 was to make the VR experience better. You know what I mean? And so to show that in a better light, you know what I mean? They should have, you know, released them not the same month. You know, I still think that was stupid. You know what I mean? So we should see if it works out for them. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
And that price for what is it? $500? That shit is terrible.
$400.
Oh, $400.
$400 without the what? It's about to say $500 because you need the camera, you need the sticks if you don't have those things already.
Yeah, even that price range right there, that's nobody rushing out to go get that. And then for the games, if they had like a couple of games that was like, wow, I need to get that. But they don't got that right now, so.
I don't think they have that quite yet. But anyway, moving right along, one of my favorite all-time developers. I'm not even going to try to butcher this guy's name. And I always tell you guys that I don't hero worship, I don't idol worship. But this one developer here, I never could pronounce his name. I mean, Itagi, the motherfucking creator from Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden, the one which working at Tecmo, the one that got fired.
Titty Man, that's his name.
No, he was fucking bitches in the ass and all types of wild shit.
He text Reaper, that nigga fucking denied that shit quick.
Access denied.
But listen, again, I said I don't really know many developers like firsthand, but I knew who he was because I remember me watching they had the Tokyo Game Show, and Microsoft first showed up, I think, Ninja Gaiden there. This is back in like 2000 and maybe 2, 3 or whatever the hell. And like, oh shit, Ninja Gaiden, I was excited for. They showed it on what's that? Remember the G4 channel or some shit? with Adam Sessler. He used to come on that show. That's where I
Yeah,
saw that.
G4 TV, something like that.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm looking at this guy like, who the fuck is this Japanese white boy? He got the motherfucking leather motorcycle jacket on with the black shades. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this man pop up here? Yo, and he was just laid back, combing his hair like this motherfucker's a rock star. I ain't know what
he was chilling.
Saying. But anyway, just speaking of, he sent me a fucking friends request on Facebook. I would say you guys, you'd be surprised who watches your fucking your channel. He said I got fucking fanned out. Like, oh shit, yo, your shows are funny. I said, thank you, appreciate it. I'm not worthy. But anyway, him. He says that he says that during the interview he declared disinterested attitude towards the two consoles. However, he was particularly critical about Sony's new platform, the PlayStation 4. He said it's just rhetoric. The current gen does not have enough power to support VR, so they're releasing it to support VR, what we just talked about. I'm going to get in trouble again for saying this, aren't I? Microsoft and Sony are going to be on my case for saying shit like this. This guy's bro as hell. See, Microsoft and Sony is going to be on my case for saying shit like this. The PS4 Pro is not really their motivation. VR, which is what the upgrade is for, requires a lot of processing power. So you have this guy here who says that, again, he's not a big fan of the PS4 Pro because Sony's just what they've been saying for a while. You know, maybe the fans were saying, no, they're not making it. They're making it just for the VR. And we had another developer came out and say that if you're expecting better graphics, I just did a video on this a little while ago. If you're expecting better graphics, or I'm sorry, if you're expecting 4K, don't expect better graphics because the console, you know, is not powerful to give you both. And
not powerful to give you one. Shit.
Well, whatever. But 4.2 teraflops, man, they can give it like, come on, that's a lot of goddamn.
I'm just saying, you said either 4K or better graphics. They can't do 4K on 99% of the games, so.
That's what I'm saying. So, I like I said before, and I mentioned again. So the big public pushback or the lukewarm reception of the PS4 Pro, because we know what's there. When people, I don't give a fuck whether it's a mid-gen upgrade or refresh. When you buy a new console, you're expecting to see a boom. You understand what I'm saying? You talk about
newer tech.
Yeah, you got 4.2. That's a lot of goddamn juice right there. You know what I mean? Regardless of what this is, we're gonna take the Scorpio out of the goddamn conversation. When you,
it's a lot of juice at 1080p.
Even 1440p, and they upscale it. They could do.
Well, I mean, I said that with Uncharted, and they didn't change any settings, and the thing still drops. So I say 1080p. It's tons of juice for HBAO and a bunch of good stuff they could use.
I have to disagree with the. Well, they got like they got like 4.2 teraflops, and we have to remember that like. Theoretically speaking, 4.2 teraflops will perform to about 5 teraflops of in a console because the optimization is just at a different level, right?
I get it.
Yeah, so they could do 1440p with higher graphic fidelity and just upscale it to 4K. It would look good, but these guys, they need to measure their dick. And they can't let Microsoft have a bigger cock than them. You know, I'm serious. That's what it is. Instead of just doing what the system is capable of doing, they're trying to compete with the Scorpio where they can't compete with it, and they're trying to create this false narrative. And it's already falling flat on their face because gamers are realizing, hey, I thought this console was 8.4 teraflops.
Now keep in mind when I say at 1080p, bro, I'm talking 60 FPS on everything. Now, 1440p, 30 FPS, they could ramp up the settings as well. But at 60 FPS, you'd be surprised how much better that makes the game look to the common gamer. Like, wow.
You know, I kind of relate it like to a PC GPU or like the RX 480. And the RX 480, it can do 1080p 60 frames per second. The same, it can do 1440p 60 frames per second. They pretty much work the same. You start having problems on that GPU when you start going up into 4K. They could definitely do it, man.
But here's the thing again, and we listen. What you call the hardcore, you know what I mean, or whatever. You know, the guys that go out and buy it first. It's the pros. Sorry, it's the casters are going to bring in the big bucks, okay? And even as far as me, you know what I mean. Once you get past the being issue, okay, it looks a little better. But if you're just going to give me, and I've been saying, and I'm not to say like a broken record again, but if you're going to give me the same goddamn plate of lasagna from last Sunday and just say, you know what? I heated it above 500 degrees this time next gen. Then I don't want that. I want better. Listen, I've been screaming this shit from the rooftops since the start of this generation. Resolution does not determine better graphics. We had an example.
He wants that new lasagna. He doesn't want that old lasagna.
We had a perfect example at the start of this generation. In the early part of 2014, we had Spider-Man, whatever the fuck it was, Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, whatever the hell it was. It was 1080p, 30 frames a second on both consoles. Am I right? But then you had the games like Rise, Son of Rome was only 900p. And we all know that Rise, Son of Rome wipes the floor with fucking Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Because it's using better textures.
Well, the best example is Minecraft. Minecraft's 1080p on both consoles.
Okay. Okay, but well, fine, even with that. But it makes no sense if you say you're going to give me, okay, we got The Last of Us remastered in 4K 60 or whatever the hell it is, and you're giving me those same PS3 textures?
Technically, for me, I think that it's the limitations of their hardware. First of all, they didn't increase the CPU. They didn't increase the bandwidth. You know, the GPU is starved because of the crappy CPU. Their API is also a handicap to them because their API is not like DX12 or DX11 where it'll scale up and down. These devs have to really go in there and code shit. Like they actually downclock the second GPU in the PS4 Pro to the exact same specs because they're scared that if it's a little bit faster, it'll throw off the cycles because their API is not that optimized. It's not that scalable. And where Microsoft, they don't have to do a damn thing. It's scalable.
Yeah, they've set themselves up for the win in the future, man. And you could tell, too, when there's lots of alpha effects, smoke, sparks, all kinds of stuff going on, and like Uncharted 4 on Pro, that's when those frames just die. They just fall off.
Oh, okay, but fuck it, frames. Again, call me the casual smashable. I want better graphics. I don't give a fuck you lock me at 30. I don't give a fuck. I just want, again, I'm just being broke because I'm just me.
It's possible, man. They're just wasting it on a.
You would think this is a new console. You would think it would be.
That's all that I'm saying.
1080, 60.
Yeah. Well, some of these games
with all the games, but that ain't the case.
They say if it's higher resolution, that means it's higher graphics. That's what this.
No, it's not though.
And some of these games too, like they're rushing the show. They're just trying to get it out there. I think in the future we will see some games that will optimize the hardware better. Like from what I've seen thus far of Days Gone and of course the God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. Those look phenomenal. And I think it's Horizon Zero Dawn. I think I've actually seen it was Horizon. I saw the raw feed of it, so like uncompressed footage of it, and it looks incredible. But those games should be out at launch. You're launching the system, without software to properly support the hardware. And that's a shame.
But
Guerrilla Games, that is a typical Guerrilla game, so they're in the writing phase right now in the last few months.
Yeah. But that's what they're Guerrilla Games. They like Crytek.
They're trying to get a story down in the last 3 months.
Yeah, they like Crytek. They make very pretty games. But even as far as that, what you're saying, and how you say D, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. Even when you're saying God of War, even what you're saying Horizon Zero Dawn, those are for us the hardcore. That's not for the casual. When you got games like
what would you consider games for casuals next gen?
Well, the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, all of them, the 2Ks, the Maddens. If they're looking at exactly the same as their counterparts, and you're just saying, because regardless of what, if you have a 4K TV, your TV is going to upscale it regardless. You understand what I'm saying? And it is, if it didn't upscale, you have a black bar on your goddamn set. It's going to upscale it regardless. Okay, just hear me out. But if you're telling me night and day, and like, goddamn, that looks compared. Look at my Madden compared to your Madden, and my shit looks better than your shit graphically. You know what I mean? That's what they need to focus on. You know what I mean? If you think,
but it's a console refresh.
Who the fuck has a 1400p TV? Let's be real. Even fuck 1400. No one has a 1400p fucking television. Let's be clear. Just lock the motherfucker at 1080 and give me better textures.
Your 4K TV does support 1440p. Well, mine does. I can go through and cycle through all those.
Humor me, dealer. Walk with me, man. You know what I mean? For those who don't yet, even better, because we're still the minority. The casuals have 1080p TVs.
Some of them have 720p TVs.
Regardless. And according to those documents, they were saying that games will look better graphically on your 1080p TVs. And I'm just being, it doesn't. Like, mine is the 4K and the HDR, but though that's done properly in HDR. And listen, I'm not downplaying HDR. It is a huge deal if it's done correctly. You look at games like Forza Horizon 3 or Gears of War 4 or even Ratchet and Clank. When it's done correctly, it does looks good. But you know what I mean? But for those that, that don't have that yet, if you, I don't know, man. Like I just
Tomb Raider is actually supporting what you want. So Tomb Raider
has it really look that better? I was just looking at Tomb Raider today.
No, it does. It does. It looks better. It's like the equivalent to like pretty much
the 1080p high fidelity mode is the 1080p high fidelity mode is the best looking.
But it still doesn't. It's
that 4K don't look good though.
Yeah. Because the 4K version is basically the regular PS4 version that's checkerboarded or something. So it's using the same. It's a sharper image, yes, but it's using the same assets, right? Whereas a 1080p high fidelity mode, it's using different assets. It's using higher textures. It's using more
higher
effects,
texture filtering, better lighting,
better aliasing.
The 1080-60 mode is the exact same as the 1080-30 base PS4 mode, just double the frame rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being Debbie down.
I'm thinking that Pro should have had all the games locked at 1080.
I wouldn't be too down on it really, because just know
that ain't the case.
I don't think we're gonna have any of those issues when the Scorpio hits, bro.
But hey, PlayStation Pro just gives you a little bit of nothing.
But even with so much as that, and I would say the same thing to Microsoft. If you're just gonna give me 4K 60 or
exactly,
fuck it, and I'm not getting any better textures, and I'm being clear. Listen, just no fanboy shit here, and just because it's in 4K and it's not gonna look better graphically. I'm not talking about the image being sharper. I'm talking about graphics here. Like Allen Iverson say, come on, we're talking about practice. I'm talking about graphics. You know what I mean? If it's not gonna look beber graphically, then there's no need for me to get a fucking Scorpio.
It will, and I'll tell you why. First of all, they have and the developer that you linked in one of your videos also said this. It has a higher bandwidth, so right there off the bat, it's got a significant advantage in the bandwidth. They can use higher textures at the higher resolution because they have the bandwidth to support it. And also, too, Phil Spencer. I don't know if the interview was yesterday or the day before, but I saw the article today where he was discussing what 6 teraflops means to him. Now, 6 teraflops is measured is the compute, the max
compute performance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but what I was thinking, and I don't want to start any rumors, but what I was thinking here is, what if Microsoft is like really going out the box here, and what if this is not using 32 bits? Maybe it's using 64 bits, and it's at 6 teraflops processing power, my friends. Because we know nothing about Vega, we know nothing about Zen. And apparently there's some real high tech stuff in there that's going to be dropping, and we're going to find out basically in January. This stuff comes out next year, so we'll know then what the relative power of the Scorpio will be.
And also, you can double down on that by saying 320 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth as opposed to 217 on the Pro. You do not need that much memory bandwidth if you're going to run the same fucking textures. You don't need it.
No.
And lastly, we've already got confirmation from at least one developer. In the best way that he could possibly do, as I've already told you guys, Ralph Bolton of Forza Horizon 3, who was asked, would you use 4K textures in the Scorpio version? He said, well, I'm glad we developed all that for the PC. We've already got all those 4K assets ready to go. So, of course, they're going to use 4K and higher textures and all that shit. So, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I really don't.
Basically, PC graphics on a console.
Yeah.
You'd be playing your games on Ultra.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the games would be at Ultra. The only thing that I don't want to commit to is the 60 frames per second on all the games. Like realistically, with this, if the specs are like how we speculate, 32 bits and 6 teraflops, then console optimization, they can do wonders with compression and stuff. And like I said, we don't know a lot about Vega. They could probably, I'm comfortable to say they could get maybe high 50 to 60 frames per second. I'm not so comfortable saying the Ultra, but they could get Ultra 30 frames per second, all the bells and whistles, no problem in 4K. Easy,
no
easy.
Problem.
Now, how would that affect multiplayer? Would that go down or would it stay up?
See, you know what I don't understand?
60?
Let me ask you guys a question. Remember how the article said that, they don't want people being at a multiplayer disadvantage due to frames,
Yeah.
right?
That too, yeah.
But my thing is that doesn't make any sense because people on PC, some people play on a PC they found on a thrift
Exactly.
store, and some people play on Ultra. That doesn't affect anything.
Well, think about it, guys.
It
like
doesn't.
most of the big games, they're already going to 60 FPS.
Right.
Like Gears,
Exactly.
Battlefield, Call of Duty,
Halo 5.
moving to 60.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I think they're doing that is because you're going to be at the same frame rate. They're just going to ramp because they're doing this on PS4 Pro. They're at the same frame rate, but on Pro, they're still ramping up the res and even some of the effects on some of the multiplayer.
And even so, like I've been screaming the last few podcasts, they could easily implement a different rooms. So, there's a flag, you have a PS4 Pro or you have an Xbox Scorpio. You can stay in the 60 frames per second room with your comrades, or you can have the option to go in the 30 frames per second room with the original Xbox owners, and vice versa. If my Xbox buddy wants to go play some guys and he doesn't mind the advantage that they have and he wants to challenge himself, give him that option. And the problem is solved. It's so easy to implement this stuff. Like, it's not rocket science. It's not.
And besides, Microsoft has been hearing the power talk for the last 3 years. So if they got a system to come out that can do a hell of a lot of power, bitch, go for it.
Here's the thing, but don't waste the power on the resolution.
Yeah, don't waste it.
But I gotta say this, Z. Right away, it just being the Vega GPU, them having that bandwidth, and them having 6 teraflops, that's not gonna happen. They'll be able to run 4K
hypothetically speaking. Let me say this, and when I say and for those people that were saying, just give me, and I was wrong. I don't have a problem admitting when I was wrong. And hey, Joe Montana, I was wrong about that, right? And how should I say this?
Yo, I think there's gonna be a new football game for Xbox.
Yo, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. Joe Madden.
Wasn't they talking about that shit like 3 years ago?
Yeah, listen, man.
Wasn't like a cell phone game at the end of the day.
Crack was happy drinking that hooch in his fucking back of his fucking trailer, fucking country bunker. Listen,
wasn't it a rumor like 3 years ago or some shit?
Yeah, I didn't make the rumor. I was just talking about it, man. Hey, but it is what it is.
In your defense, though, all signs did point to that, though, and everybody was shocked when they found out.
It was an article. I didn't make the story up. But of course, I was just talking about it. But it is what's off. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, for those people that were saying 4K is not needed, just give us 1080p 60 and whatever the hell. And I was looking at it now, and I was saying that people might not fuck that 4K is the truth. Get the fuck out of it. It is a big difference between 4K and 1080p. If just being honest with the HDR. There's no damage controlling that. But if the console, this is what I'm saying, if the console is going to upscale anyway to 4K, when Sony just say, you know what, developers, hey, give us a higher graphic fidelity, better textures. You can switch it on and off, and the console, let the console, with the upscale, and let it upscale to 4K. Now that's something that the casuals won't give a fuck about. Really, if it's native 4K, whether it's upscale 4K, but if the games are graphically looking just as good as the fucking Scorpios graphically, and the Scorpios is native 4K. And the Pro is fucking upscale to 4K, and the Scorpio, and the Pro is only $400. And just say if the Scorpio is $500, that's a fucking no-brainer to me. So I don't know what the fuck Sony's doing. You can't beat them when it comes to the native thing. So better just say amp your fucking graphics up. And hey, Sony, I'm giving you some fucking advice here. You know what I mean? That's all that they should do, because you're not going to be able to match them fucking on the resolution thing anyway. But if the Scorpio games are looking better than your shit graphically, then like that's that's what I mean, because people say it was not that big of a deal between native 4K to upscale 4K, but it was that big of a deal. I'm gonna humor you from upscale from 900p to 1080p. That was a big deal. Fine, fuck it. It is what it is. We're gonna forget about that for the last 3 years. But if the Scorpio games are looking better graphically, you know what I mean? Like fuck that. Like, and you got this shitty fucking CPU. Like, come on, man. Like, you're bugging, man. And this is me talking as a consumer that went out and bought this motherfucker day one. You know what I mean? So, and that's all that I'm saying. Even if you Sony dick, look, you horse face motherfuckers don't understand that. El Miziago, take your thumb out your booty. Take that chocolate twizzle out of your mouth with black liquid. See that type of motherfucker in Hollywood. The black jelly bean. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Eat fucking black liquid and fucking black jelly beans, you dirty motherfucker. I don't know, man. Like, that's my grandmother loved fucking black twizzlers and black jelly beans. Like, what the fuck?
That Scorpio going to have a field day with that Pro when it comes out.
I just hope so.
We want to see some major lighting technologies and
that's all that I'm
saying. That's the thing. I agree with you there, man. They're gonna have new tech, like new ways of doing things, like new like tiled resources, point 0.3, whatever, like new techniques. Give us new experiences, and Microsoft is the company to do that. They are the software kings, man.
Exactly.
We both seen ambient occlusion like HBAO, right? Like, and just imagine, like, just current games with just HBAO plus enabled. I mean, that would be like they would notice that way more than they would a resolution boost.
That's true.
I mean, that is insane lighting. I mean, it's crazy, dude.
I got a guy named Shadow Warrior in the comment section. He said, "At next gen, get your eye checked, bro. It's a difference. Try Titanfall." And quality graphic wise from the original PS4,
Titanfall doesn't run at 1800p. That's one of the few games they actually did ramp up.
Yeah, and
they gotta cut it out. They gotta cut it
doesn't
out.
play shooters, so that's kind of totally.
Listen,
seriously, Titanfall runs at 1440p and actually did add visual effects, more particles.
Yeah, they did
what we want them to do.
Yeah,
so you just proved our point.
Yeah, you say,
man,
it is what it is, man.
Try that one game that does what you wanted it to do. Oh,
but they're few and far between. Like if example, if this was the Scorpio, we wouldn't have to be going through this because the games would automatically scale up. You got some games that do, some games that don't, and what do they support? What don't they support? It's so unclear. All these games should support the same mode. They should all support a 1080p 30 frames per second highest graphic fidelity mode, 1080p 60 frames per second, your 1440p, your checkerboard 1800p, whatever. They should all support the same fucking modes. It's such a cluster.
I'm starting to realize why some of these dudes are just talking. Like, a lot of these guys in the comments, they just talk. And it's like, why do we know more about your own system and your own games than you do?
It's Jason Hernandez. He said Shadow Warrior sleeps on pissy sheets. Yo, shout out to my man Jason Hernandez. He
we about to get him on the show.
Oh, Shadow Warrior. Oh, that's the guy that sucks the dirty dicks, right?
Yeah, that's him. I want to say something to Sam Walton. He says, I guess he saw him. He just said, you have to temper your expectations, though, for both the Xbox and PlayStation. And first of all, shout out to you, Sam Walton, for joining the show. You got a real live slave named Sam Walton. Check it out.
Sam Walton,
Luke Cage #2
Walmart,
dude. We shall. His parents' name was like, we shall. We shall. Toby. All right, listen, check it out. I'm just fucking with you, Sam. It's not that I have to temper my expectations, bro. I want you to think about this. The PS4, right? Just think about this, is 1.8 teraflop. The original Xbox One, 1.3 teraflops, right? We're going from this is in the middle. We're going from 1.8 to 4.2. Just think about that. Just think about that number in a closed fucking environment. You understand what I'm saying? We should get our fucking socks knocked off.
Yeah.
Especially with this, whatever, it's going to extend the generation. Okay. Sony's not going to just, hey, here goes the PS5 in 2017.
So next gen. Yeah. So you're not enjoying your PlayStation 4 Pro.
It's not that.
Right?
No, let me be clear. Let me be clear.
Is that the bottom line?
No, the bottom line is that at the end of the day, all jokes aside, and maybe I might be a little over the top. No, I'm not. I'm just speaking for the fucking mankind here. If you go out and spend fucking $400, right? And it's not a lot of money, but for $400 we get 4.2 T-flops, right? Regardless if it's a mid-cycle refresh or not, that's much more powerful. It ain't like the PS4 went from 1.8 like the Xbox One S to, to maybe 1.9 or 2.0. That bitch is 4.2 T-flops. You know what I mean? And it just looked, regardless if they want to call it a mid-frame refresh or whatever, games should look much better graphics. You can't fucking achieve 4K. Stop it.
Next gen. Here's the bottom line. I'm rocking a GTX 960 at 2.4 T-flops.
Okay.
If they set games up the way I do on my PC, they would look better than anything you've seen on the Pro so far. Because I'm rocking ultra settings on the Witcher hybrid high settings with HBAO, etc. And there's nothing on the Pro right now that touches that.
Yeah.
And that's with half the power of the Pro. So that, but I'm running 1080p. PC. Yes, and I'm running 1080p 60 though. Keep that in mind. Just like that's why I'm telling people 1080 60 ultra settings looks better than 1800p same settings as PS4.
I listen again. That's all that I'm trying to say. They act like when I'm listening, bro. That's what I don't understand. And listen, I'm not. This is not even you, Sam Walton. When I say this though, they act like I'm the one that's like they act like I'm fucking Kanye West. You ain't got the answer, Sway. They act like I'm fucking the fucking. You ain't got the answer,
how, Sway? How?
Yeah, how?
Sony, do not send your killers at my head.
And listen, yo, Sheeta, don't send them shooters at my head. Listen, I'm not fucking bugging here. You know what I mean? I'm just being like, and again, regardless of what I may prefer, I'm a gamer at the end of the day. And saying, well, it's not that it would take time. It's Sony has to stop with this narrative with this resolution, because like I've always said, resolution does not give you better graphics. It may give you a sharper image on your TV screen, but what you're doing is you're making the shitty textures that were already there. You're able to see them clear. So that's
you know what's funny? It's so ironic. The thing that propelled the PS4 into #1 spot is probably going to be the thing that's going to be its demise.
Yes,
because all that shit that they preached for the last 3 years, they can't walk it back now. So gamers been running this narrative for quite a long time. So when the Scorpio comes out and destroys it in resolution and destroys it in graphic fidelity, PS4 signed its own death certificate.
Hey, we're having a field day over here, D.
It's all comments.
The chat section is lit right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
That shit is funny.
Comments at least every video or so saying, I'm picking up a Scorpio.
Hey man, y'all really need to get Emiziago on here, man. Cause see, he's loyal, man. I'll be seeing him in all the podcasts. I gotta get him on here one day.
We're gonna have to cut his mic like every 5 seconds, though, bro.
Hey, you know how you trying to? Hey, you know how you trying to get inside of a car? And you motherfucker keep on moving forward. You keep on doing that shit.
Yeah. Oh man, but you know what? I'm glad Microsoft didn't rush out with this with the Scorpio. They played it right. They got a couple months to evaluate, see how Sony doing, and they're not doing too good. So now they know when they come out. Exactly.
And you know the thing that fucks Sony is the Xbox One S, because they didn't see that coming. So they wanted to be the first one to say, yeah, we got 4K consoles. Yeah, we got 4K Netflix. But Xbox came and said, yeah, we're upscaling to 4K. We got HDR. We got a 4K Blu-ray player. And it just killed their whole mojo, man.
Yeah, they was looking, man. Yeah, they was looking sick out there. They was looking like Pookie.
Did you guys see when
he wanted that fix?
Did you guys see when Trump went to the White House to meet with Obama and he looked all shook? He looked shook. Like they just told him a lot. Sony was shook. They left E3 in a hurry. They're like, oh shit.
Hell yeah. That's exactly how they was looking.
Even with it's one thing don't get me wrong, all these companies lie. It is what it is. But the fact when they said they didn't have anything ready to show for the Pro, that's why they didn't show it. It wasn't like, come on, let's be clear of this, okay?
They didn't want to get steamrolled.
Yeah. It wasn't even so much about the Scorpio. It's just that Microsoft took their flagship features of the PS4 Pro, the HDR and the upscaling, and put it in their standard console for fucking $300. That's what caught Sony off guard. It wasn't the Scorpio. Like I said, and again, they both do business with AMD. Let's be clear.
Oh, yeah,
they
absolutely.
both do business, and they knew that. It's no secret. If I know about it, I'm quite sure there's fucking Sony, and I'm fucking nobody. And here AMD say we got this tech coming out next year. Cool. All right, give us that. We want to do 4K and whatever the case. And fine. And again, not to be like, and I'm not saying that this 4.2 teraflop is not a upgrade, because it is. But again, it was that the fact that because this I didn't know. Because if it was regular slim, I wouldn't have fucking bought it. You know what I mean? The fact that the HDR and upscaling 4K and the 4K Blu-ray player, that's what made me buy a slim. It wasn't because it looked sleek and looked new. I didn't give a fuck about the console. It was the fact that the 4K Blu-ray player and stuff like that. Microsoft took and won. And like I said, and like I said, I was given some. I always get a bunch of shit. I was given some papers from someone that works at a one of the major one of the major TV companies. Whether you got Samsung, who else you got? Sony, you got Panasonic and LG. It works for one of those companies. They all use the same Taiwanese company that makes the SoC chips for these consoles and stuff, and these fucking Blu-ray players. The chips and stuff that Sony chips the SoCs weren't going to be ready until early next year. So that's the reason why the PS4 Pro doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray player, because believe it, it's only like a $10 chip, believe it or not, literally. So it wouldn't really affect the price of not, what I mean? Because Microsoft, they're not really taking a hit on the hardware with the 4K Blu-ray drive. It's the same shit. It's like a $10 fucking chip, literally, that makes it a 4K. But it's neither here nor there. But instead of Sony just coming out and saying, we ran into a snag or whatever the case may be, or we may give you one next year or whatever the fuck, they say, well, 4K, DVD or whatever, it's a dying format and digital is the way to go. Like, cut the shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
everybody knows that Blu-ray 4K is so much better looking than Netflix.
Yeah, but they will push that off until who needs a 4K? I just want to play games on. Why do you think the PS3 sold the way that it sold for the first 2-3 years? It wasn't because of the games. Motherfucker was the cheapest fucking Blu-ray player.
Didn't have any games.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Even fucking their first flagship title was Metal Gear Solid 4. That sold like shit. That's why you'll never see another exclusive Metal Gear on a Sony platform. Like, I'm gonna give you the real right here. You know what I mean? That shit damn near bankrupt Konami, and it didn't. It's so horribly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, it is what it is, man.
If there's any publisher that needs to go bankrupt and deserves it, it'd probably be Konami.
Yeah, I heard they are very shitty. I don't get me wrong. I like the franchise of Metal Gear. I don't know about this Left 4 Dead shit they got coming out, but I do like Metal Gear games. I like those are my type of games. I have yet to try the multiplayer on it, but I do like those, Splinter Cell type, games. I can sit here and zone the fuck out. I got PTSD bad as hell. Like, incoming.
You guys pick up any of those games on the Black Friday Dash 4 sale right now?
Oh, what do they have? Tell me.
I heard Titanfall 2 is on sale.
Titanfall 2 is $30.
Titanfall 2, that's $35.
I don't need to buy that. I already have 2 copies of
the
that.
biggest
you ain't send me a copy, bitch.
Look at that. For you could have got 2. You could have got 2 copies for the price that you paid for one. You should have waited.
Yeah,
I should have waited.
You should have stayed with your fellow Xbox and held out till the price dropped, bro.
They got the Metro Redux bundle for $6. Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Whoa! Rewind. What?
Metro Redux bundle, $6.
Damn.
Wolfenstein: The New Order. That game is phenomenal. $6.
Is that why I've seen a whole bunch of people playing
$6?
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it yesterday or the day for
yesterday. So is the Old Blood.
You guys out there that have not played that game,
what game was it?
Wolfenstein. That game is amazing. That game took me by surprise. I couldn't believe how good that game was, man. Solid game.
Wasn't it on Xbox Live games in 1 month or something?
That was the old school one, I think.
Yeah.
That's right. What else they got?
This is the newest one.
Metro Redux. What the hell is that? What the hell?
Metro Redux. It's just it's hard to explain, but it's $6. And then you got the Witcher Complete Edition, $25. The Witcher 3 Complete Edition.
I got Witcher already.
Wow.
And then you got Mad Max, another phenomenal game. That's
$11.
How much is that?
Yeah.
How much?
11.
11.60.
Okay.
There's a bunch on there, and there's more.
What's
to
the
come.
website?
It's just the first.
They got the remastered Shadow Complex too. That was classic.
What the fuck is Shadow Complex?
It's a game that the dudes from the original Gears team made. It's like a side-scrolling shooter.
Oh, I had that for the 3. I already have that. I already got that.
It's right there. Yeah. If you go to under your games and apps, it's one of those featured tabs of Black Friday bar.
Oh, okay.
Black Friday box.
Also, I see that they got the Xbox Live games for December. They got Sleeping Dogs. Stick all that shit. That's a
Sleeping Dogs, Burnout.
Yeah.
Outlast.
I don't like scary games, but the Sleeping Dogs.
Especially ones where you can't defend yourself.
Hey, dealer, what about the games with gold, man? We getting Burnout backwards compatible.
Yeah. I got Burnout. I got Burnout already.
What else are we getting? Sleeping Dogs.
You getting Outlast, and then there's one more I can't remember.
But hey, just to go back and play Burnout, man, I'm happy about that, though.
Yeah, I got Burnout already. I got that for the 360. That I have. But also too, EA be putting a bunch of them old ass games in EA Access.
Oh, the Rise of the Tomb Raider is like $25 too.
Oh, Gears of War. Gears of War 4 is $30 or $36 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's a good game. That's a good game. That's a good
Batman
game.
Arkham Knight. It's like 15.
Forza Horizon 3 is on sale.
How much?
I don't know if it's on there or if it's Best Buy or one of those places. Somewhere has it on sale cheap.
Yeah, I got it.
Like I said, this is like the first wave. There's supposed to be another whole wave with a whole bunch of other games.
I know I'm picking up XCOM 2. It's only like $38. I'm picking up that.
What I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Mortal Kombat. What's that?
Mortal Kombat, $19. $19.
I have it. I'm for the PS4. They got all the DLC. The
the XL.
Yeah, whatever it's called, the XL or PL. Yeah. I'm looking for that. But I can get that for dirt cheap this Black Friday. I picked it up on my PS4. I like fighters. Also, so like I said, the last little thing I wanted to tackle before we get the hell out of here. Major Nelson sends me a tweet. He said, "I'm sorry."
Oh yeah.
He said, "I'm sorry, bro. We mean no harm." Microsoft,
did you see that?
They got their Donald J. Trump on for Dead Rising 4. It says nigga. Microsoft
nigga. Yeah, nigga. It's nigga.
Hey, nah.
What happened?
Listen, so they sent out the advertising Dead Rising 4, and I think was it a tweet or was it an email?
I think it was an email.
Okay, you get an email if you have an Xbox Live account. You get an email from Microsoft. Hey, this holiday season, check out Dead Rising 4. And I guess they act like the zombies type in it. They got NNGGGHHHAAA. Only Microsoft, that's racist. Huh?
I said Dead Rising 4 should be free now.
Oh, yeah, whatever the hell. So they sent apologies.
I gotta say, though, I could tell that he felt the shame, though, because he's like, it was like so short and sweet. He was like, yeah, we'll do better next time. Sorry. Like, it was like nothing. What could you say, bro?
What was he trying to say?
I guess they were trying to like the zombie, like, how they're like, they don't talk, they mumble, but whoever wrote that was an idiot, because I don't know any zombie characters on screen. Say nigga, man. Say nigga. Zombies don't say nigga when they're dead. Fuck, they say brains or something, not nigga. Yeah.
Hey, listen. Before we get the hell out of here, you always got a story to tell. Listen, back in the day, this is like in 1997, right? I'm going to the fucking gym. I don't know if you guys remember a boxer named Andrew Galata. Long story. That's
yeah.
That's the motherfucker that punched Riddick Bowe in the balls. Anyway, my friend Maurice was going to be boxing with him, and I forgot who the people that had him. The same motherfuckers that had Buddy McGirt back in the day. And their gym they were at a gym called Marciano's. So we go on Chancellor Avenue in Newark, New Jersey to fill up. Now, this is a little gas station. I don't know what race they are, ethnicity, but they got the turban on their head or whatever. So my man, he had some black guys out there helping him. This motherfucker, I'd be washing the windows or whatever. It was New Year's Eve. Check this wild shit out right here. So he was laying down in the fucking and they got the little glass booth in the middle of the gas station or whatever. He got his head down, and these motherfuckers, this is before the days of your debit card, though. They was filling motherfuckers' cards up for like $5 or $6, right? So I had like 3 cars, got all my cars filled up. So when that time we came from Jersey City and came back with tolls, I'm gonna go back over there and fill my shit up for another $2, $3. So when I get there, it's like 2 police cars, right? And he's fucking talking. So I'm waiting to get the gas. These motherfuckers pumped out all the fucking gas in the goddamn gas station. He was like, "No, I have no problem with the black man, but it's the black nigga." Yo, I was fucking dying. That motherfucker said, "The black nigga." I said, yo, these motherfuckers pumped out all his gas. That shit was bone dry. I'd never seen a gas station run out of gas. That fucking line was wrapped around the corner. I don't know what the fuck they gave him, man. He must have his ass with his head laying down. They slipped that motherfucker, that nigga roofie, a date rape drug. Man, he passed out. He passed it all they fucking. He said, "No, officers, no problem." The cop was black. He said, "It's not the black man, it's the black nigga." Nothing, mind. I'm sorry, but listen, you guys want anything to show people get the hell out of here?
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody, and thanks for watching.
Thank you. Well, listen, thank you for rocking out with Xboxbeastfire. As always. Also, too, man, look at me. This shit is gonna be coming to iTunes soon. I'm in the process of setting that up, so taking this shit to the next level. You want to, download the show on the go. We're gonna put everything on iTunes and maybe even SoundCloud, or even for those of you that have Google Play. But yeah, hit the like button. Thank you for rocking out with us, and shout out to everybody in the comment section. I chatting. This thing be kind of cool. We get some weirdos on BGST. They be going far left. Be off the hook in BGST, man. Motherfucker, black nigga. But thank you, man. We out of here, man. Shout out to Bam rocking out with us today, man. We out of here. Come on, poop. Do 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 do.